All right, everybody, welcome back to the number one television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. All three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Stephen King, Finders Keepers. This is book number one in King's Bill Hodges mystery trilogy. Now, I have been reviewing all of the Stephen King novels in order of publication, and we are now to Finders Keepers. So we're almost nearing the end of my Stephen King reviews. If you want to see any of the Stephen King reviews I've done in the past, and I've done like about 80 of them now, just type in the name of a Stephen King novel and my last name into your search bar on YouTube, and the book review will likely come up on your computer screen. That's how the internet works, people. Anyway, let's talk about this. Book number two in the Bill Hodges trilogy. Book number one was Mr. Mercedes. Book number two is Finders Keeper. And book number three is End of Watch. So that's the trilogy, the Bill Hodges trilogy right there. Got them all, along with every other Stephen King book. So anyway, let's talk about the covers first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. I've got the original first edition hardcover right here, and then I've got a paperback version over here. So, I like the hardcover version quite a bit more than the paperback version. I don't know why they changed it up, but they did, whatever. In fact, there's probably more versions out there. Stephen King books get published in with all kinds of different covers. But anyway, I like this one. It matches the tone of the other two in the series quite well. With the blood, it's raining blood on all of these books. It's just cool. This one's a little, blasé, whatever. What can you do? All right. I listened to the Audible.com version of this book, as I listened to the Audible.com version of most of these books for these reviews. The Audible.com version was done by the narrator Will Patton, who also did Mr. Mercedes, and he does a good job, so great. Okay, so this book, right out of the gate, I noticed the dedication was to John D. MacDonald. It reminded me, I've read two John D. MacDonald books, the first two Travis McGee books, and reading that dedication made me realize I need to get the rest of the Travis McGee series soon, because I think there's about 20 books in the John D. MacDonald, Travis McGee series, and I need to get the other 18. I've got the first two. So anyway, it's kind of a reminder to keep doing some more book shopping. So, these books are not necessarily horror novels. These Bill Hodge trilogy is more of like Stephen King's foray into mystery or hard-boiled crime noir novels. I like it so far. You know, I really liked Mr. Mercedes. I don't know if I liked book two as much. I'm pretty certain I didn't like book two as much, but that doesn't mean the book two here wasn't super dope all on its own. It starts in 1972. We get a prologue. There's an author named Rothstein. He's 80 years old. He's retired. He's very famous for, in the 1960s, writing a series of books called the Gold... Is it the Gold Trilogy? Or there might have been more books in the series than just three, so it might just be the Gold series. I can't remember exactly. Should have written that down. Anyway, his house is invaded. He's an old man. Three thugs in masks are in the house, and they... one of them is a guy named Morris, and Morris is he's a fan of the writer and a fan of the books, and he's very disappointed that Mr. Rothstein stopped writing Gold books back in the 60s, that he didn't finish the series. And so he wants him to write more. This very reminiscent of another Stephen King book called Misery, but this one goes in a way different direction. Because Morris just kills Rothstein right there during the home invasion. It's like, I'm going to kill him. He kills him. Finds out, as he's ransacking the house, finds that there's a hidden manuscript. Another Gold novel. Another novel in the Gold series. And he takes it. He takes it He hides it. But he's not. Morris is not a good guy. He keeps getting himself in trouble, crime after crime. He's eventually arrested and put in prison for a very long time. But he's got that manuscript hidden out there. Then we jump to 2009, and there's a guy named Tom Saubers, and we get a scene where he is hit by a Mercedes. He's run over by a Mercedes, which is a scene in Mr. Mercedes. So we get a call back to Mr. Mercedes and the scene in Mr. Mercedes where the Mercedes runs over a bunch of people. Well, one of the people that got run over was one of our main characters in this book named Tom Saubers, which is cool. I like the callbacks. I like how Stephen King interweaves all of his tales. And we get that scene. Then we jump to 2010 and we meet Tom Saubers' teenage boy, Pete. Now, Pete, this is sort of a coming-of-age tale a little bit with Pete, mixed with a mystery involving Morris, the guy that stole the manuscript, and our main, I haven't even talked about our main detective yet, Bill Hodges, which is one of the reasons and I'll get into, we'll just hold that thought. Hold that thought. So, Pete, the young teenage son of Tom Saubers, finds this missing manuscript, this missing Rothstein manuscript. And then we jump up in time again to where Morris, the bad guy that stole the manuscript and killed Rothstein, he gets out of prison and he goes in search of the manuscript. And this is where everybody's lives get intertwined. And I haven't really spoiled anything in the book yet that isn't just in the book jacket here. Because all that stuff takes place within the first 50 pages of the book. Anyway, actually the first 150 pages. Because that's one of the things is we don't meet our main detective Bill Hodges, our main character, until 150 pages exactly into this book. When we jump to the year 2014, now Bill Hodges, and that's one of the things is I like the character of Bill Hodges in Mr. Mercedes, and we don't get to follow him. This book isn't really about Bill Hodges and his investigation. This book is more about the other characters. Morris, the criminal, and Pete, the young boy that has the manuscript. And all of the mess that turns into a big mess that our semi-main character, Bill Hodges, has to investigate. But he's in his 60s. He's starting to eat salads now instead of cookies and chips. Oh my God, I so relate to that. I used to eat, in my younger years, I used to eat nothing but junk food, fast food, garbage. It was glorious. I loved life. For the last while, I have been eating nothing but beets and carrots and broccoli and mulch shakes, grass, leaves, mulch, dirt, twigs, shakes. Oh my God. I relate to Bill Hodges. He's crushed that he has to live healthy as an older person. Age, people, just age. Age in itself doesn't. It sucks. It sucks getting older when you can no longer leap tall buildings in a single bound. I used to be able to jump up and with a volleyball in my hand, jump up and dunk a volleyball on a 10-foot NBA basketball. I mean, I don't know why I'm reminiscing about this bullshit right now in the middle of this review. I don't. I never could dunk a fully inflated basketball, but I could dunk a volleyball or a tennis ball or a softball. Anything that I could get my hand around, I could dunk it in high school. The other day, I tried to jump up and see how high I could get on the basketball. I was barely flicking the bottom of the net. But I'm 100 pounds bigger it's hard to get 100 pounds more. Because that's probably not 100 pounds. I was about 170 in high school. I'm about 230 now. I don't know the math on that, but it's more weight. Anyway, all hell breaks loose in this book once Bill Hodges and his trusty sidekicks, Holly Gibney and Jerome Robinson, start investigating what is going on with this missing manuscript, this teenage boy, and this ex-con who is searching for his obsession with this manuscript. He's just an obsession with it. He makes everybody's life hell, as a great Stephen King villain can. Anyway, I give this book, I think I gave Mr. Mercedes a higher score, but I give this book still a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's an enjoyable read, great addition to the trilogy and to the Stephen King collection as a whole. So there you go for Finders Keepers.